Hello and welcome to Doodle Bliss. Today we're going to talk about using watercolor pencils. I have this drawing here of a mermaid that I colored with watercolor pencils and then activated it with a wet brush. So I've got the tail drawn out here so that I can show you, and I've got, these are Caran d'Ache Supracolor watercolor pencils. I've got some paint brushes here, a silver ultra mini designer round and a Princeton round. And I've got a drop cloth and some clean water. So, and the other thing that I will be using is some of this, it's called Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White. It's a kind of white opaque paint. We'll use that for highlights. So what we do to start with is you're going to color just like you're using a regular colored pencil, except you don't even have to be as tidy as you would be with a regular pencil. So I'm going to color that in. And I'm not going to go all the way up to the edges because I'm going to put some green there. As you can see with this piece here, I've got the color is blending out to green and down in the tail into the purple, pink, and orange. So you want to leave those areas white until you get to the point where you're ready to color those. So there's the blue. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of green. I think adding the green, this is a very yellow green, I think adding that on top helps it look like sunshine is coming through the water. So we've got that. A little bit more blue. Okay, now we're going to get into a little bit of the purple. Now if you notice, I'm not letting the green touch the purple area too much because if you mix green and purple or green and pink, it's going to make kind of a muddy color. And now we want pink. You need to think about where your colors are on the color wheel, because colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, like red and green or pink and green in this case, if you mix those together, then it just turns into a brown muddy color. But green and blue are next to each other on the color wheel. Green comes from a mixture of blue and yellow, and so those colors are going to be compatible with each other. So there we have a little bit of orange. Now the way that you use watercolor pencils, there are several ways to use it, but my favorite way is this way, where it's colored in and then you have a clean damp brush. It's not sopping wet, and you activate the colors like this. And I'm going to rinse the brush before I start going into the color that's next to it so that I can make a blend like that. You see how that blends? So clean water is a really important thing that you need to do this, and you can keep going over the areas with the clean water. Keep rinsing your brush. Oops, I let it get a little bit too wet there. You see, if you let it get too wet, it kind of puddles. Take that up to the edge. Whoops. Okay, let's rinse again, because now we're getting down into the purple. It's hard to stop going over some of these areas. You just want to go over them again and again. Let's get down into the purple here. And then into the pink. And then we're going to go into the orange. Like that. That pink is a little bit on the purple side, but that's okay because you can always make another layer over the top. So you can just keep going like this, blending, moving the colors around like this. But what I am going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and dry this off so that we can do the next step, and so that I stop playing with it. So let's give it a blast with the heat gun here. Now I'll show you another technique that you can use that some people like to do. You can color an area on a piece of scrap paper with your pencil, and then go in with your brush and lift it up like that, and then apply that to your painting like this. Okay. So let's we'll dry this again. And now it's time to add some more of the details. So I've got, this is a Copic fine liner pen. I'm not going to draw all the scales. I'm just going to draw some of them. Sorry if my hands are shaking a little bit. I've got a shoulder injury right now. That's why it's been so long since I've made a video. So I'm just trying to work my way through that. We'll make those kind of taper down. And we'll draw in some lines for the fin of the tail. So you can use these pencils like ordinary colored pencils for details as well. Like that. And then this is where the bleed-proof white comes in. I'm just going to turn this a little bit to make it more comfortable for me. And we're going to start doing highlights. So just with a little brush, start drawing the highlights. We're going to do that on all of these scales that we've drawn in. Whoops. And then we're going to start doing some where we didn't draw the scales with the black, but the scales are still there. So you want to kind of do some drawing of them. Just sort of to indicate where they are. And we'll take those and we'll go all the way down the tail with them. You can do as many or as few as you want. And you can use them if you have areas where the blend didn't dry completely smooth. Well, just go ahead and draw over that with some scales. Cover those up. We're going to do a highlight down the side. Make her look nice and shiny. And we'll do it down this side as well. Like this. We're almost done. If you like what you see here on the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button down there so that you can be notified when I put new videos up. And go ahead and leave me a comment about things you would like to see. I'll try and make sure that I do things that meet your needs if I can. Finally, we're going to do some white here on the tail fin. There we go. Take it down to the bottom. Let's turn her around like that. And there you have it, a mermaid's tail. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again next time on Doodle Bliss. Thanks a lot.